What's the number one mistake most entrepreneurs make when hiring their first virtual assistant? It's not hiring the wrong person. It's not paying too much, although I have seen that. It's not even a time zone difference. The number one mistake is this. You delegate the task, but not the thinking. And it ends up costing you hours every single week. Now let me explain this with a story that might hit a little too close to home. What's up, guys? This is Philip Sessions, the founder and CEO of Refined VA, where we help busy dadpreneurs like you buy back their time by getting virtual assistants that are trained and ready to go for you. And in today's episode, I want to help you be able to not make the number one mistake that most entrepreneurs make when they hire their first virtual assistant. And this is what happened to me. So I'm speaking to you from experience. When I hired my first virtual assistant from the Philippines back when I was drowning in admin work, I brought on this virtual assistant to take over some of the content creation that I was doing, as well as video editing for my podcast and social media content. And the first couple weeks were amazing. They really took off. They were really making it happen. But then all of a sudden there was a missed deadline here. They were sick there. They just kept being late or not checking in, and they needed to be able to work some different hours and everything because they were working on night for them, but days for me, so we could be able to communicate during the day for me. That's how I wanted it. And it is pretty typical for the Filipino culture to work nights for them, so they're on US-based time. But all these things started slipping through the cracks. And so rather than trying to correct it, I just said, forget it. I'm going to do it myself. And that probably sounds familiar to you, whether it's been a virtual assistant or somebody on your team that you've hired. When they drop the ball, you have simply just said, forget it. I'll take care of it myself, but you keep paying them. And when I had this virtual assistant who was supposed to be saving me time, taking on tasks that I didn't want to do and shouldn't be doing, it wasn't really saving me time because I had to start babysitting every single project. I was fixing little mistakes, and I was micromanaging them to death.
I need a vacation.
And I was super close to firing them until I realized that he didn't fail, I failed to lead.
Oh, I didn't realize.
I gave him the tasks, but I didn't necessarily give him the outcomes that I was looking for. I told him what to do, but I didn't tell him why it mattered. And he wasn't confused because he lacked the skill. He was confused because I lacked the systems. And so here's what I had to learn the hard way. That delegation without context is just outsourcing confusion. And that is what's costing you hours. By repeating instructions, fixing avoidable errors, and staying up too late doing the same stuff you were trying to offload.
One eternity later.
So let me give you my 3-step delegate like a leader framework. Number 1, delegate outcomes, not just tasks. Don't say send out a newsletter. Instead, say schedule the June newsletter and go high level by Thursday using last month's template with a goal of a 35% open rate. Giving him or her the goal, the deadline, and the reference. Now that's not guessing, that's leading. And number 2, using SOPs or standard operating procedures and Loom, some kind of recorded video. Filipino virtual assistants are incredibly loyal, hardworking, and eager to serve, but they value clarity over chaos. Create a simple 3-minute video showing the process once. Pair it with a simple checklist in Notion or Google Docs, and now your one-time explanation becomes an evergreen training system for that virtual assistant or the one to come once you've promoted them, or if something else happened and you had to get rid of them, now you don't have to go back and do this again. And number 3, create a weekly rhythm. Set up a 30-minute check-in meeting with them once a week. You should be covering priorities, problems, and progress, the 3 Ps. You should be covering the 3 Ps in this meeting: priorities, problems, and progress. And I would suggest to do that on Monday, so then you have the rest of the week to work through those things and make sure that you have the clarity in that. And then every Friday, really every day, but at least every Friday, have a quick recap of what got done and what needs adjustment. And managing a virtual assistant is not about control, it's all about leadership. You don't need to become a taskmaster, you need to become a vision caster. you need to become a vision caster. The same VA I almost let go now runs our back-end systems, onboards clients, and leads new hires. Because once I gave him clarity, he gave me capacity. So if you ever thought it's easier to do it myself, that's not a systems problem, that's a leadership problem. And the good news, it's fixable. Drop the word systems below and I'll send you the exact SOP template and team meeting cadence we use to manage high performing remote teams across 3 continents. Or just keep doing it yourself. But fair warning, your inbox is judging you.